Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to conduct the virtual lab for MB3 Test 2, which is the fineness of Portland cement. Kindly go to Spectrum and open the Word file that has been already uploaded there. Okay. In here, you can find the link for each testing. All you have to do is click on the link or copy paste it. Right now, I'm just going to copy paste the link. Okay, it has redirected to the virtual lab page. Make sure you have clicked on the correct link. You should be able to see this. Fineness Modulus of Cement. Before we move on to the simulator, it is important for you to know the importance of this test. The fineness modulus of cement has a direct effect on the strength of concrete and mortar. To understand this better, you need to recall your basics on total surface area to volume ratio. The finer or smaller the cement particle is, the greater the total surface area being exposed to water will be. Hence, the rate of hydration will be higher, resulting in faster development of strength. You can read the theory on your own. Now let's see how the simulator works. The objective of this test is to determine the fineness of cement by dry sieving. This is the setup of the apparatus. You need a mechanical shaker, sieve set, weighing scale, and also trays. Next, okay, first of all you need to turn on the weighing scale, then place the tray here, then tare it. Now you need to measure the weight of the cement that you are going to use. Okay, there's 100 grams of cement here. Next, now the sieve being used here is a sieve with 90 micrometer holes. You have to assemble the pan and sieve first, and then pour the 100 grams of cement inside here. After that, close it with a lid. Next, you need to place the sieve set on the mechanical shaker and let it shake. Now restrain it and then tighten the screws. Okay, turn it on and now let it shake. Okay, done shaking. Next, you need to loosen the screws, remove this, and also remove the sieve set. Take off the lid. Okay, now you need to measure the weight of cement being retained in the sieve and also in the pan. Let's start with the sieve first. Okay, tare it and then click here. So the amount of cement being retained in the sieve is 91.3 grams. Okay, let's have a look at the pan. Tare it and then now click here. So there's about 8.8 grams of cement being retained in the pan. This is also the fine cement. Okay, so data is already provided here. You need to record the data and tabulate it in your report. Next, okay, this is trial 2. Trial 2 is exactly like trial 1. All you have to do is just follow the arrows and then click here and there. It's just the values will differ a bit. Now make sure you do this as a group with your group members using any virtual meeting space, and make sure you record this. Okay, if you think your work ends here, then no, you're wrong. Why? Because the test being conducted in the virtual lab is actually different from the test conducted in our physical lab. Please have a look at your lab manual. If you have a look at this, you'll know that the test being conducted in our lab is actually Blaine air permeability test. This is the setup of the apparatus. Unfortunately, the apparatus is actually out of order in our lab. Even your friends who did the lab even before the pandemic started did not have the opportunity to do this test. So I asked them to read it on their own and do the report based on their understanding. So now I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Yes, you're going to do 2 reports for MB3 test 2, but fret not, you don't have to do full reports. All you have to do is you need to have two separate sets for starting from introduction till procedure, because it's like 2 different tests, right? So you need to have 2 different introduction and 2 until procedures. After that discussion onwards, it can be 1 set. So meaning each group's supposed to have 2 separate reports for MB3 test 2, but it's not a full report, it's just half until procedures. After that, as the normal discussion is normal, you just have to have 1 set. So now let's have a look at the discussion questions. Okay, these are the discussion questions. You have 6 questions here, starting from significance till minimization of errors. However, when your friends did their lab, I asked them to omit this question number 3, difference between obtained and specific cement fineness. Why? It is because they didn't have any experimental value, because the apparatus was out of order, so they didn't have any experimental value. So I asked them to omit this question. But since you have experimental value from the virtual lab test, you can do this question. So I want all of you to do these 6 questions, and you're going to have extra questions as well. So all you have to do is go back to the virtual lab page. If you go up here, you can find assignment questions. So there's 2 questions here: list the pros and cons of fine grinding of cement, and also list out the factors which depends on the fineness of cement particles. So you need to add on these 2 questions. So just now was 6, now it's 2 here, so altogether 8. And I also have 1 more extra questions from my side. So this is my personal question that I'm going to ask you. Okay, this is question number 9. Compare both the methods used in virtual and physical laboratory and include a discussion regarding it. So this one I'm not going to restrict it to any aspect. This is like open-ended. You can write it from any aspect. It could be advantages, disadvantages, pros, cons, whatever. It's up to you. You can use your own creativity to do it. You can do it in a chart form, or you can do it in a table form, or you want to write an essay also, no problem. I leave it up to you. So for this experiment only, you're going to have 9 discussion questions. So let me repeat it before I finish it. Your report is going to have 2 introductions, starting from you're going to have 2 introductions, 2 materials, 2 apparatus, 2 procedures, but then starting from discussion is just going to be 1 set. Discussion, your conclusion. For virtual lab, you're going to have data, but you won't have any data. You're going to have data and calculations for your virtual lab, but you won't have any data or calculation for the physical lab. Okay, and your discussion questions, you have 9 discussion questions. So that's it. Thank you for listening.